I'm Lisa, 29, and until recently I thought I had my life all figured out. I was engaged to Tom, who I'd been dating for 3 years. He's 32, charming, good-looking, and the kind of guy who lights up a room. When he proposed last year during a weekend getaway, it felt like a dream. My family was thrilled, my friends gushed over the ring, and I was over the moon. We set the wedding date for a year later and started planning. I wanted something small but elegant. About 100 guests, nothing over the top, but still beautiful. I was doing most of the planning since Tom was always busy. He's in finance, and his job seemed to take up most of his time. He said he trusted my taste, which was flattering at first. I thought it was sweet that he wanted me to have everything exactly how I envisioned. But as the weeks turned into months, his "I'm too busy with work" excuse started to feel like a pattern. Tom missed a cake tasting appointment that we'd scheduled weeks in advance. No text, no call, just didn't show up. When I asked him about it later, he apologized but didn't offer much of an explanation. Work ran late was all he said. He seemed distracted, and I told myself it was just pre-wedding stress. Everyone says planning a wedding is tough on couples, right? I brushed it off, but in the back of my mind, a tiny seed of doubt was planted. Around that time, I noticed Tom's texts became shorter and less frequent. He used to send me random messages during the day, funny memes, or just a quick thinking of you. Now, I was lucky if I got a busy call later. When I brought it up, he said things at work were crazy, but he promised it would settle down soon. I believed him because, well, why wouldn't I? My family, though, started to notice things I wasn't ready to see. My mom casually mentioned that Tom didn't seem as engaged in the wedding planning as he should be. My sister pointed out how he seemed distracted even during family dinners. I defended him every time. He's under a lot of pressure at work, I'd say. It'll be fine once the wedding's over. But their concerns stayed with me, even if I didn't want to admit it. Then there was the bachelor party. Tom insisted on having one, which is normal, but the people he invited weren't his usual group of friends. These were coworkers and guys I didn't really know. When I asked why his usual friends weren't coming, he said they couldn't make it, but it felt off. He reassured me it was just going to be a low-key night. I didn't push further, but something about the whole thing left me uneasy. A week before the wedding, everything fell apart. Tom stopped responding to my texts and calls. At first, I thought maybe his phone was broken, or he was caught up in something urgent. But as the hours turned into a full day, panic set in. I tried his work phone, no answer. I called his family. They were just as confused as I was. His mom said she hadn't heard from him in days. By the second day, I was frantic. I drove to his apartment, praying I'd find him there and that this was all some big misunderstanding. Instead, I found his place completely cleaned out. No furniture, no clothes, not even a note. It was as if he'd vanished overnight. I stood there in shock, trying to process what I was seeing. My fiancé, the man I was supposed to marry in a week, had disappeared without a trace. I had no choice but to cancel the wedding. Making those calls was one of the most humiliating experiences of my life. Explaining to family and friends why the wedding was off without having any answers myself felt like tearing my heart out repeatedly. Everyone was supportive, but the pity in their voices was unbearable. My dad offered to take care of contacting the vendors, which I was grateful for because I couldn't handle it. The real blow came a few days later when a mutual friend reached out. She told me she'd seen Tom with another woman at a restaurant the night before he disappeared. According to her, they looked very cozy, like a couple. I didn't want to believe it, but the pieces started falling into place. The missed texts, the distractions, the bachelor party with people I didn't know, it all made sense now. Anger replaced my heartbreak. I couldn't let this slide. After everything he put me through, I wasn't going to just